Very good morning to you. Welcome to June's Redcar Cleveland Business Network. I'm Darren Winter, and with Karen King, we're volunteer co-managers of the whole Redcar Cleveland Business Network. I feel particularly nervous this morning. I don't know why. I think I always get nervous around technology. I work in digital, but because this is live, a few times a few things have kind of gone astray, and we're all organised and ready to go. We just had a good chat in the background, but I always get these kind of like butterflies and stuff. So yeah, it's just if you ever if you're feeling a bit one of those days today where you've got something going on and you're feeling a bit nervous, apprehensive about it, then just embrace it and just get on with it, and you'll be absolutely fine, I'm sure. And it will be today as well. I'm looking forward to this morning. If this is your first time watching, the Business Network was established as a regular meeting place where business owners like yourself can meet other business people to share best practice, advice, and it provides a forum to offer business advice and guidance from our guest speakers. And if you've attended before, you'll know that we've been doing this for quite a few years now, and we used to hold in real life monthly face-to-face meetings, but we're doing this all digitally at the moment, and we're trying to replicate the experience as best as possible online with a live multi-channel stream. So we're live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. So at the moment, you don't need tickets. You just watch us. You can book. We try to encourage you to book via Eventbrite, so we know how many people are going to be turning up. But otherwise, just turn up on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. If you're not following us already on Twitter and YouTube, I'm just going to put something up here now that you can. So if I just find it here we go. Well, this is our email address. There we go. That's our website and that's our email address there. And this is our Twitter handle. Okay, so if you're not already following us, make sure you do find us on Twitter, start following us. We do share some amazing content for different businesses around the area. And if we always say, if you've got some news that you want to share, just tag us in on Twitter, on Facebook. Facebook's a bit more tricky to share if you post a message. If you just tag us in the message, just use the @ symbol, type in Redcar and Cleveland Business Network, and then we'll just get the mention. But if you post it as a message, it's just a bit more tricky and difficult for us to find, but we can do it. Just give us a little bit longer to do that. Thank you to Redcar Cleveland Borough Council, who we work in partnership with, and a big thanks to our sponsor, Bead Financial, who sponsor the website, so redcarclevelandbusinessnetwork.com. Usually we invite everybody to stand up and give us a 15-second elevator pitch about the business, so we know who you are, what your business is about, maybe some things that you want to talk about as well. So just in these live sessions, please just introduce yourself in the chat underneath if you're on Facebook or on YouTube, or just send us a tweet if you're on Twitter. So just who you are and what your business name is. I'll put them in the comments and then we'll read those out. Please don't share anything that you don't want to be made public, because this is being recorded. And I'll just have a look to see if we've got anybody sort of coming through there. So we've got Karen there. Morning, Karen. Emma Jenkins there. Morning. Jude Libby, good morning. So again, anybody else who's there on the stream, again, just let us know. We'd love to hear from you. So speaking this morning, we've got 4 speakers. First up, we've got Chris Corcoran from Treat. He's going to be talking about his journey on building an artisan desserts and sweets business. So it sounds amazing, actually. Next up, as I haven't spoken for a while, and I'm always asking everybody else to speak, so I thought actually I probably need to do some speaking myself. I thought it might be helpful to cover some simple search engine optimization techniques for your website. It sounds complicated. It isn't. It really isn't. But it's things that you do need to know if you have a website or thinking about getting a website. And it's all about trying to get visibility of your website on Google. So trying to match those search engine phrases that people are typing in to help your website sort of come up in the search results. So I'll be covering a presentation about that. But if you've got any questions about digital marketing as a whole, again, please feel free to put those in the chat and I'll try and cover as much as I can today. Then we've got Richard Baker from Redcar Cleveland Ambassadors. He's been providing a place marketing update along with kind of business and place insights and promotional opportunities around the borough. And it's great that we're moving into the summer now. Some restrictions are starting to ease a little bit. So there's some really great events still going to be planned, that's still happening, that sort of Richard will be sort of sharing. And again, if you've got anything that you kind of want Richard to be aware of, again, just pop those in the chat as well. So it'd be great to hear from you. And then last up, we've got David Hitchin from the Business Growth Team at Redcar Cleveland Borough Council. He's going to be sort of talking about some business support and that today. And we've got the contact details and that for David and the team there. So if you've got any questions, you can put those in the chat to David today, but also you can also email them direct as well. So if you've got something particularly pertinent you want to discuss, then we'll give you the contact details to speak to the team. And again, so we're happy to take questions for all of the team, for all the guests in that today. So if you're on Facebook or YouTube, you're just joining us, just leave those in the comments below the video. And if you just joining us and you didn't catch the full intro, please just tell us who you are, the name of your business, any messages that you'd like to share about your business as a whole. So Matt's in the background and he's busy monitoring the channels and he's ready to kind of pick those up. We plan to wrap up no later than about 8:30 today. Depending on numbers, it might just finish a little bit earlier, but I think we've got quite a lot to talk about today. So 8:30 is the time we're looking to finish. Whilst you kind of like just putting some things in the chat, and I'll pick those up shortly, we've just got a few headlines I'd like to cover. National events going on right now. So this week is National Volunteers Week, and it's also the beginning of Pride Month. So those are two really great talking points for your social media channels. So if you're kind of stuck about what to talk about, so National Volunteers Week is a good one. So there'll be plenty of local organisations looking for support for National Volunteers Week. So just give them a share onto your own social media feeds. And Pride Month is a difficult one. So I wouldn't encourage people just to get on the back of the bandwagon, as it were, just to put out something about Pride. But I think if you want to talk about a bit of diversity, or maybe kind of celebrate, if you've got like a rainbow cake in your cake shop, or you're wearing kind of like rainbow t-shirts, or you just got something to say about the cause, then definitely do share it. You share your messages, or just kind of share other people's messages about Pride as well. It's a great thing, social media, if you use it positively. If you've got nothing to say yourself, you can just share some really good quality messages that are already out there, just to spread the love, as it were. The FSB, the Federation of Small Businesses, their free weekly networking group is on Tuesdays, and there's a monthly catch-up next Thursday, I believe. I'm just going to pick the link there. So there we go, that's their link. If you want to kind of see, I might be wrong on that Thursday one actually, so just do have a look. But there will be one sort of coming up very soon for the Tees Valley, and then the County Durham one is on a weekly basis. You don't have to be a member. You can just come along and just join. But we do encourage you to join the FSB, because there's amazing benefits that you get. There's so much help and support, which costs you hundreds of thousands of pounds to get from professionals. So it's all just really helpful if you're running a business. Our next announcement: Teesside University offering a virtual 3-hour workshop on e-commerce with a local partner. There is eligibility criteria, and the tickets are available on Eventbrite. So just have a look for that. It's for Grow Tees Valley. But if you can't attend this, do have a look at Wix, Shopify, and particularly Squarespace. We use Squarespace as a website platform in our business for clients. It's really fantastic, because there's so much support there. There's a lot of guides in terms of videos, tutorials, lots of amazing support there. And it really is like a Word document, but it looks like very professional and commercial as well. So things have come on leaps and bounds in the last couple of years. So if you can't afford to pay somebody to do your website for you, or you just don't really understand e-commerce, then I'd say definitely have a look at Wix, Shopify, and particularly Squarespace, because it works on your mobiles, your tablets, and it's just fairly easy, and it's low cost as well for all of those platforms. So we don't get any money for promoting those. It's just about good advice, and you own the website as well, and that's really important. So if you do looking for websites at the moment, those are 3 platforms we encourage you to have a look at. But if you've got any questions about digital marketing today, I'm talking about it later on, so do put them in the chat and I'll answer them. Finally, if you receive our email newsletter, you might have read that we're planning a website refresh this year. And probably we're going to be making a change to the whole of the business network in terms of how we operate, because we've been doing this virtually now for a year. So longer than what we thought we were going to be doing it for. So we're thinking of kind of adapting how we deliver the presentations. So we're going to look into make some positive changes. But we really want to share more about local businesses. But we need your content. We can't do it without you. So we're just looking for pictures of you and your business. It could be your team standing outside your business. It could be inside your kitchen if you've just got something. You've got a business from home or in an office. Whatever it is, kind of take a really good, nice, high quality picture and just send it to us, and we'll start collecting those up. We're going to place them in a gallery on the website, and all the speaker slots that we've had some great sort of guest speakers from local businesses over the last year. We're going to be taking clips of those and also putting those on the website as well. So with the images and the videos, the website's going to be looking completely. It can be a nice big transformation. If you want to send those in, you need to email us. I'm going to put the link up on the screen. Here we go. So that's our website at the moment, but like I said, we're going to be updating it. But that's our email address. Just send us a nice image to Redcar Cleveland Business Network at gmail.com. If you struggle with it, just send us a message. But it should be literally just drag and drop. You can also send videos as well. If you want to do sort of 10, 15-second video and you want to send it across, we definitely welcome that as well. But you'll be seeing us asking you more about these videos and images. It's really important that we shout about our businesses. And this is a good opportunity just to share something. So please don't be embarrassed. A lot of you sharing stuff on Facebook and all of the time. We just need a couple of those images to pop on the website, and then we can put a little bit of a blurb about you as well. Okay, so let's have a look to see who's in the chat this morning. So we said hello to a few people there. Morning, Claire. So Claire Cook from Teesside University Business Team. Morning. Morning to Project Escape, live escape rooms in Middlesbrough. You've never tried an escape room before, you definitely need to give those a go. So hopefully, I think that's Nick there. Morning, Nick. Phil Lorimer. Good morning, Phil, from Crystal Clear Food and Beverage Solutions. Yeah, so Phil's going to be talking next month. So definitely come along next month to hear from Phil. Yep, Nick Rogers there. Morning, Nick. And also Project Escape Hexham as well. Fantastic. I didn't know that. So we're expanding, Nick. That's great. So yeah, if you're not in the Tees Valley area, or you're traveling around, or you've got friends elsewhere, then yeah, it sounds like you definitely get across to Hexham. Jade, morning, Jade. Amber Rose Wellbeing, offering wellbeing classes and private hypnotherapy sessions. Also setting up Seymour Plants, which is a small online plant shop. That sounds amazing. Let us know what you're selling, Jade, if it's anything specific. That sounds great. Not definitely got anybody selling plants before. Morning, Rob. Rob from Linus Engineers, civil and structured design consultancy based in Wilton. That sounds great. Specialising in transport infrastructure. That sounds interesting, Rob. Might bring you along for a little slot about that. I'm appearing quite dark this morning, so apologies if I'm looking a bit in the shadows. Lisa there, morning Lisa, morning from Darlington Building Society in Redcar, and congratulations on your new branch opening as well. That's fabulous. Joanna Bryan there from ESF Skills for Growth and Tees Valley Combined Authority. Morning, Joanne, good to hear from you. So I think a few more people sort of coming and joining us in the chat along this morning. If you haven't already kind of told us who you are and your business name, do continue just to put those in the comments, and I'll try to read those out. Okay, that's a big introduction. I'm just going to bring in our first guest here, and Chris Corcoran. Morning, Chris.
Morning, Darren.
Oh, you got yourself off mute. That's good. Well done. So you're from Chris. Your local business. Your business is called Treat.
Yeah. So we're just up and running. I'll talk a little bit more. Do you want me to put the presentation on now? And
yeah, please. Yeah, and just dive straight into it. I've no doubt we've got some questions for you.
Yeah. Well, I'm more than happy to answer any questions I can do. So please fire them away. Are we okay there? Lovely stuff. Right. Yeah. So thanks very much for having me on, Darren. I really appreciate it. Yeah. So I'm Chris, and my background's education. So I spent 15 years from uni working in secondary schools, and the last 7 of those I was an assistant head teacher at various schools up here in the northeast. But I started out in Manchester. Treat kind of came along as a result of me falling out of love with education. And the direction that the industry as a whole was traveling in. I'm a very firm believer that not everybody fits into an academic mold, but education should be a tool to better everybody's lives. And the direction that education's traveled in, I don't feel like it opens those avenues to people as early as it should do. So I'll come back to that a little bit later on. But really, the first lockdown, as difficult as it was for the nation and for many small businesses, allowed me really to get my small business off the ground. So as a result of falling out of love with that education system, I struggled a little bit with my mental health. And just before we went into the first lockdown, on the Monday before the Thursday that Uncle Boris announced he would be closing the schools, I decided to take a couple of weeks off, just for my own well-being. And in that first lockdown, I learned how to temper chocolate as a bit of a self-therapy kind of thing. And that led to people really enjoying what we were doing. When I went back to work during the lockdown, my return to the secondary school was essentially, look, there are going to be some redundancies coming up. So in September of last year, I decided that I would take one of those. And as of 1st of January this year, I've been trading full time. So Treat has become my full-time job. We currently run an online platform. Actually, we use Squarespace, Darren. I can definitely advocate that one personally. I haven't used any of the others, but it's been fantastic for us. It's meant that we've instantly got national and international reach. We've already started trading to some customers in Europe. So basically, as far as people can access our website, as long as there are no shipping restrictions on food and beverage to those countries, we're able to send out. We've had to turn down contracts in America. The website's allowed us to reach those markets, but we can't send through because of their importing laws on shelf life. Sorry, just go back to that one a second, because it mentions about partnerships as well. I noticed there are a few people in the group this morning that we've worked with already. We have started to really to build a brand. We've started to find different ways to work with people, and hopefully there are some people on here that we can offer something to this morning. One of the big perks of the job for me is that I get to just play around in a kitchen all day, developing new flavors, developing new products. And one of the things we're doing at the moment, or one of the things I'm doing at the moment, I use the royal we. It is just me in the business at the moment, and it's all done from the domestic kitchen at the moment. I am making bespoke products for people's requirements. So I've got an example of a bonbon here that we do. So this is one of our raspberry bonbons. I don't know if you can see that all right. So that'll be breakfast in a second when I get off the camera. But this is the sort of thing we do. We develop these products, so they're a little bit aesthetically different from the normal chocolate that you get, but we've also got a range of flavors that you probably wouldn't come across anywhere else. And as I say, we're developing different flavors all the time. So our most recent business partnership is with the Esdale Inn at Castleton, and they are using our chocolates as the petit four at the end of their fine dining tasting menu. So we've developed a strawberry and woodruff flavored white chocolate for them to use. We're doing some weddings later on this year, and we've got some weddings booked in for next year where we are developing different flavored marshmallows. We're doing some chocolates to accompany specific welcome drinks when the guests arrive at one of those weddings. So at the moment, there have been very few things thrown my way that I haven't been able to find some kind of solution for. If you're looking to do something a little bit special with your business, an event or a promotion, and you think, oh, you know what, I'd really like to do something slightly different, get some sort of confection out there to the customers, I'm pretty confident I can find a solution to whatever it is you're looking for. So, as I say, big part of the business is to develop those products. That there that you've got on the screen at the moment, hopefully, is one of our jellies. So we're doing whiskey jellies at the moment, working on a gin recipe, but my wife's high standards for gin means that product's not ready to go to market yet. One of the relationships that we've just developed is with the spirit specialist down just outside of Leeds, and we're developing products to go with their spirits to do online tasting events at the moment. We are also going to be working with Myra. I don't know if anyone's come across them, but they're a Swedish distillery. They make beautiful single malts out in Sweden. And we're going to be creating a flight box, so a tasting box, which will include jellies from all of their different lines of whiskey. Mentioned the Estale. We're also looking to do catering events. So again, mentioned the weddings, but we're also doing business events. So people have asked us to provide chocolates to go alongside their coffees on welcoming. So we're kind of trying to move into that avenue as well. Sorry, my 4-year-old's just coming to have a look what's on the breakfast menu. Sorry. Just 2 minutes, mate. I'm just talking to somebody. Okay, that's great. Just 2 seconds. So it was going to happen. Yeah, so we're providing white label products as well. So again, an example of that is Estale at Castleton. So they're just providing that chocolate at the end of the meal. There's no mention of our business, but we're quite all right with that because it means we're getting our product out there and people are hopefully enjoying it. But Treat really is a kind of first step for where I want to go, and this is where I come back to the education thing. So at the moment, I've got Treat Arts and Sweets up and running. We're trading to the public and we're wholesaling as well. But from here, the next step, once I've got that sustained and hopefully got some people employed to be able to do the day-to-day running of that, is to move to Treat molecular desserts. So one of the things I really like. Excellent. Sorry. So Treat molecular desserts. One of the things I was really into when I had a steady income and I could afford to go to nice restaurants was eating at Michelin star places. It was a bit of a treat for us, no pun intended. And I got really into building desserts that were a little bit out of the ordinary. So, for example, one of the things that we'll offer when we get that branch of the business off the ground is an apple crumble where everything's reversed. So you'll get a prepare-at-home hot ice cream instead of the apple being the soft part of your crumble, with dehydrate apple juice, so that you'll get apple shards. So it'll just be something a little bit different that we will pre-prepare, package, and then you'll be able to finish at home for dinner parties. So that's kind of the next avenue. So we'll have the day-to-day retail side with the arts and sweets, and then something a little bit different with the molecular desserts. And then once we've got that element of the business stable and running, the next thing I want to introduce is the Treat Academy. So as I said, the reason I fell out of love with education is I don't believe everybody is going to fit into the academic route. And one of the things that Treat Academy will provide, we are looking to have a space where we can bring schools in, and that could be either for students who are not engaging with the set curriculum and need a different avenue. So school age children won't need to wait until until college to be able to go a little bit further into culinary arts. We'll be able to do some work with them there. But we'll also run classes on evenings and weekends for adult learners who are either looking to break into the industry or who are looking on weekends to just come along as maybe a couples class and just have a little bit of fun learning a new skill. So there's kind of a range of businesses, a suite of businesses in the pipeline once we're stable with Treat Arts and Sweets. As I said, hopefully we can provide something for you guys, if there is a promotion or if there's any way that you'd like to work with us, you can either get in touch through the website, which is just there, and there's a form submission, or you are more than welcome to email me directly, and I've spelled my email address wrong. If you just take that @ symbol out after Chris, that should just be the word @. I think Google's actually changed that for me automatically because it's very clever. And that's pretty much me, Darren, unless there are any questions that people want me to answer.
Well, thank you so much. I think it was an amazing presentation, and I've got some questions myself, I think, but just there's a little bit of love for you in the chat. David himself, obviously one of our guests today, he can confirm that Chris is creating some incredible chocolates. Emma Jenkins says she can vouch for those chocolates. They are amazing. So it seems you've got some fans out there already, and it looks, the chocolates look amazing, but also I think your actual business sounds fantastic as well. The actual business journey sounds amazing, and similar to Helen Williams last month, we was talking about Just Like Home, and the fact that when she started out her business, I don't think she knew it was going to grow to the size that it has done. And yours seems to be very similar journey, where you kind of started it out by accident because of the experience kind of education, and maybe kind of just a change of how you'd seen things. So with all, what inspires you to keep going and bringing those new ideas and that in there? Because that is quite intensive in terms of, you know, your brain power, and you've got to keep it going. You've got a family as well. So how do you keep motivated to keep going?
First off, I love eating chocolate, so that helps. I think part of working in education for 15 years, it's a very high pressure industry, and my wife still works in education. She actually works for the same trust that I've just left, but in a different school. And I think one of the things that working in that environment ingrains on you is almost a little bit of guilt if you're not working. You know, I know teachers get a bad rap because they get 13 weeks off a year, but my wife will come home on an evening. I mean, she works 4 days a week in school. She's paid to work 4 days a week. She's part-time, but she will work on a day off every single week without fail. And we went for a little trip out with the boys yesterday, and she worked in the car on the way there and the way back. So it is very much an industry that's become a little bit finger pointing if you're not seen to be working at all hours of the day. And kind of having that for 15 years as my background means when I'm at home now and I'm not doing something, I'm looking for something to do. So there's constant development, but it's almost second nature, really.
And you mentioned one of the challenges kind of facing your business at the beginning was that you've got some you've got customers overseas, so you're starting to grow your market. But then one of your challenges is kind of the shelf life of the product. So have you got ideas about how you might overcome that challenge?
Yeah, so that really, there are things we can do. So I've been doing some learning around shelf life. We were lucky enough to get a bit of a run at Fenwick's. They were doing the Local Heroes feature. So Fenwick in Newcastle took us on for a couple of months, and what they did, rather than put us in with the Local Hero section, they decided once they'd seen the product to put us into their main chocolate section. So we were kind of rubbing shoulders with the big boys, which was a bit daunting at first, but it was a really nice experience. Really at the moment, and this might be a bit of a downfall of me, the quality of what we can produce changes. You've got to sacrifice a little bit of that quality from fresh ingredients to gain the shelf life. And I think the key to our product at the moment is that we use all fresh ingredients. So the bonbon that I showed you a second ago, that's a raspberry flavored milk chocolate ganache in a dark chocolate shell. And I use fresh Scottish raspberries for that. I use fresh double cream. And the chocolate that we use is a very specific milk chocolate that we decided on after extensive taste testing, that we use from Belgium. So that product is exactly where I want it at the moment, and I'm not at the moment willing to compromise on any of the flavour or aesthetic details to be able to give it a longer shelf life. we put a 3-week best before, on the chocolates, because after that 3 weeks they start to lose a little bit of shine and the shells start to soften a little bit. But I haven't met very many people that have had them in the house for 3 weeks yet.
It sounds absolutely. I mean, it sounds amazing what you've done in just about a year, just over a year. I think.
So my time hop on Facebook last week was me asking if anyone had a stand mixer that I could borrow to try out a few ideas. So it isn't actually quite a year since I made my first chocolate yet.
So do you think we're going to be seeing you on Dragon's Den anytime soon? Then
I'm hoping that I won't need to go there, and we can build the business ourselves. That's the dream. But the long-term vision is to have this suite of businesses that are providing something for the community in different areas. And if we need financial backing to get there, then I'm absolutely not averse to going and looking for that financial backing.
So Joanna O'Brien just put in the chat that the chocolates look delicious. Shame we just virtual this morning. We could have sampled some. So
the first opportunity we get to be in a room together, I will make sure that I have got plenty.
And Claire Cook from Teesside Uni says, amazing, gorgeous chocolates in the academy is a brilliant opportunity as well. So I think it is a fantastic opportunity. I've heard of things like the cooking side, but I've never really heard anything kind of like on the sweets and dessert side. And considering a lot of people do have a sweet tooth, I think it's a fantastic idea. But more probably Nick, who's on from Redcar Cleveland Mind, actually, he might have something to say. But I think what you said about your kind of candid remarks at the beginning about kind of the mental health, and that kind of strike a tone probably with a lot of people, those who've had a really rough time over the last year, and conversely those who've had perhaps seen some success, but that also brings its own challenges and stresses as well. And so I think I just want to say well done, like from everybody here at Business Network, because it's we understand, as certainly myself, I understand what it takes to get a business off the ground. It's really not easy. It's really hard. But it's also great that you already know a lot of the people in the group as well. So it sounds like you've worked with a lot of partners here, like with the business growth team at the council, and different people around the borough, which is really great to hear that. So well done. Definitely keep us posted on your growth, on your growth and on your progress. And we'd love to have you back. Hopefully, when we ever get back to doing real life events, it will be great, like obviously to see your sample and then kind of talk about the product in a bit more detail. Maybe do like a bit of a blind tasting session or something.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, I would absolutely love that. That's right up my alley.
Oh, that'd be fantastic. Thank you so much for your time this morning, Chris. And if there's any other questions that come through for Chris, do put them into the chat, and then we'll come back to him. So you're relieved, Chris. Now you can relax and take it easy and grab yourself a drink and a coffee.
Yeah, we'll get the Teddy Bears picnic right up and running properly now. Yeah.
Thanks very much indeed.
Thanks again, Darren. Thanks.
You're welcome. So Chris Corcoran there from Treat. Definitely check out the website. Definitely check out the chocolates, I think. I think if you're looking to give yourself a bit of a boost towards the end of the week or over this month, or there's a special occasion coming up, then you should definitely speak to Chris. Okay. I'm going to embrace technology now, and I'm going to bring up some slides here for SEO marketing. I've done this presentation before, but it's been a while since I've done it. But the last time I did it, we had quite a lot of questions. It was one of our real life events, and we had a lot of people emailing us afterwards. And I thought, actually, it's been a while, so I thought, bring this back again. A lot of the content really hasn't changed that much. So it's interesting with Google, if you're looking to try to, if you've got a website or you've got a business that's kind of digital reliant, obviously social media does play a key about your visibility, absolutely does, and you should be embracing social media. But obviously Google as a search engine is also one of your other tactics about trying to get visibility, trying to get traffic as well. It is really important. I'm not going to expand my slides like Chris, and the main reason is that because I need to see the screen behind and kind of other things that are going on, because it's just me doing everything. So apologies if this looks a bit off-putting on the side, but kind of I have to kind of see both things here. So it's a difficulty presenting and kind of directing, I suppose. So I'm not going to label on too much of these things here, but just to kind of finish on the point about social media and Google, is that the way to think about traffic is think about the funnel. So at the very top of the funnel, you've got all your visitors coming in, but they'll come from different sources. So social media, you'll get some people that just love Facebook, but you'll also find people on other channels as well. And a lot of it is down to your customer persona. So who is it that you're trying to attract? This is the vital, before you do anything, if you listen to what Chris was saying, he's very clear about the type of people he's looking for. So in his academy, he was talking about sort of people who kind of like struggling, people like adult learners that are looking to come back and try something really different. So if you listen to his talk, and if you rewatch it and listen again, he actually went through all the different personas and the reasons why he did things. And that's what you need to build into your business, into your whole approach when you're doing digital, is make it clear who it is that you're trying to attract as a customer or as a visitor to your website. So is it somebody who's quite time poor? Demographics still play a key. People say it's sexist, but it kind of isn't, because if you've got a predominantly female product or service, then obviously it's female people who are going to be attracting. But conversely, it could also be male as well. So if it's a car enthusiast club, not to say there isn't females interested in cars, because there are, but predominantly it's going to be male people. Conversely, if you're a hairdresser, probably a large percentage of your makeup in terms of customers is going to be female, unless you're a barber. So again, don't be frightened of kind of embracing some stereotypes, because marketing is all about that. And you'll get examples of that if you're doing Facebook advertising. You'll be asked about kind of trying to break down who you're trying to attract. So it's really important. Customer personas, who you're trying to attract. If you can think demographics, so the age, gender, location, hobbies or interests, the reasons why they're looking for a service that you're trying to offer, what problem are you trying to solve, even if it's down to, you run a sandwich shop, so you're providing sandwiches for people who haven't got time to prepare dinner at home, or it might be just lunch on the go, or kind of could be for people visiting the town in the summer period. Those are all problems. They need something to eat. And it's just best to think about it that way before you do anything with social media and before you do anything with Google. Okay. So Google is not just a search engine. It offers lots of different services. You probably heard of things like Google Drive. You can store things. You can do Gmails. You've got Google Email. But in terms of the search engine stuff, you've also got display ads. And you've got PPC. So display ads are going to be the sort of pictures that you see. If you go to maybe like online news sites, you'll see advertisements pop up, trying like videos, mini animations. Those are display ads. And PPC are pay-per-click. So these are pay-per-click ads. So these are words. So if you're typing in search, if you type in something into Google, you'll see very often at the top, it'll say like ad in like a yellow box. And next to it, you'll just see loads of text. And those are what's classified as PPC, pay-per-click. Each time you click on them, you just pay a fee. But also within the Google family, you've got Google Analytics and you've got Google Search Console. And I haven't got time to explain everything today, because I could go on for weeks or months about Google and digital marketing. But Google Analytics and Google Search Console are two things. If you have a website, you need to have those. If you haven't got them, they're free to sign up. Even if you've got a WordPress site, there'll be like a little add-on. Squarespace, Wix, Shopify, you can just integrate Google Analytics into those websites. It's really easy nowadays to do it. But you just go to Google Analytics, sign up, and then they'll give you like a code usually to embrace, or give you some code to copy and paste into the back of your website. There's instructions on that you can find on YouTube videos, or on the platform of your choice that you've got your website on. So definitely make sure you're using Google Analytics, because it helps you understand your visitor demographic. That's what we're doing here. So going back to customer personas again, Google Search Console is a little bit different. Google Search Console will kind of like search your site and then flag up any problems on your website, so things like broken links. If the images you put on the video are just too big, so they might be slowing your website down, it flag up those types of things and just send you a little email every now and again with a summary of kind of what's working well and not so well for your website. Next slide here. So the next thing you need to make sure is that your website has got a secure domain name. Okay, it's one of the must-haves now for a couple of years from Google. You get extra brownie points from Google if you've got this green little padlock symbol here. Now, Squarespace give you it for free. So if you've got a domain name, I think you have to toggle the button on to get it. But you'll get the HTTPS. With things like WordPress, I think you might just have to make sure that you buy the security certificate. It's not expensive. It's usually about £10 if you're with somebody like GoDaddy or One-on-One. There's loads of domain providers out there. You can make sure you get this padlock on your website. It doesn't matter even if you're not taking payments. The fact that your website is a secure site means that your Google can trust the content and trust your site more than websites that don't have that symbol on. So it's really important. It's a factor in where your website gets ranked. Next thing, this is July 1st from a couple of years ago, but now all new websites will have to be mobile optimized. It's a given. It is still really scary how many websites are out there which don't really work very well on mobiles. As an average, to give you a statistic, but on probably a B2C, so business to consumer website, typically about 60 to 65% of the traffic now probably will be from mobile. So that's why it's really important that your website works as well on a mobile as it does on a desktop and a laptop. And if you're unsure, just have a look at your website on your laptop or on your desktop, and then have a look at it on your mobile. Does everything work? Is everything easy to navigate? Can everybody see everything you want them to see? There are some compromises between doing things on mobile and laptop. You can't do everything that you want things to be seen in the same way on a desktop as you can on a laptop. That's just part and parcel. But those compromises, at least you'll understand what those are. Fast loading video and image sizes. So I've mentioned beforehand, when you're uploading images, if you look at an image, if you upload it, if it's about 1 megabyte in size, then that could start to restrict how quickly your website page is loading. There are other factors in terms of the quality of the hosting as well. So it does pay to shop around. Don't go with the cheapest. So if you've got a WordPress site, there are local Tees Valley providers that kind of can do domain hosting and website hosting for you. So if you do go with anybody, just find out what their service provision levels are. If you're with somebody like Squarespace or Wix or even Shopify, I think they can do the hosting for you. So it's part of that. You don't have to have that headache. But I'd say a lot of people already have websites in a business network. So you probably already have maybe a local provider or a bigger provider. So it's definitely worth checking out how well your website is loading up. That's why Google Search Console is really important to have. It's free because it will tell you whether you're kind of slow on mobiles or fast on desktops, and it'll kind of pinpoint if you've got very large images. To get around that, just compress your large images. So just to give you an idea that if you've got a big banner on your website, probably looking 600 to 700 kilobytes in size, you don't really want to go much bigger than that. If you've got smaller images on your site, then maybe look at about sort of 250 up to 350. You can go smaller. These are just guidelines, and it does depend what you want to do. But look at about 250 to 350. Obviously, if your business is a photography business or film business, then you might want to kind of scale some of those up, but then you might just want to reduce a few of the pages. So those are the compromises that you kind of have to think about. Because our smartphones can record amazing films and photography, 4K videos of really large file sizes. So definitely make sure you kind of keep those compressed. So 1080 is probably absolutely fine. But the best thing to do is stick it on YouTube and then if you host it on YouTube and just copy the link, embed it into your website, let YouTube deliver the content, allows your website to be deliver your pages much more quickly. A couple of things here, so I'm running out of time, so I'll kind of get through this as quickly as I can. So just give you an idea, so title tags, if you're going into the back of your website, you need to look at kind of this, where this arrow is pointing here. So this is your kind of like your title tag, and this is how it would appear in a search result, or if you were sharing a link maybe on social media. So you need to make sure that this title tag is roughly no more than 60 characters, and that includes spaces and commas as well. So it's about what your website name is, but also what that page is about. Okay, so then just making sure that you've got kind of a relevant title there, and each page should have its own title tags. There shouldn't be any repetition. And then here we're talking about the meta description, and then this description here needs to provide a bit more information about what that page is about. So here you've got 160 characters. These are guides. Sometimes Google does show more, sometimes it doesn't, but roughly as a guide, 160 characters is right. I've put here like best used for advertising copy, because if you think about it, when you're doing like Facebook ads or anything like that, you'll always have to provide a little bit of information somewhere. So really this is the same type of thing, but these are kind of snippets about what your page is about, what your website is about. And when people are looking down the search results, you can try to entice them in to click on your link. Okay, so this is the bit that's really important. Okay, alt text for all images on your site. So every single image, every single video needs to have a separate description. Okay, and usually it's hidden behind, so people can't see it. Again, so alt text, just search for that, depending on what website platform you're using. It's pretty easy to do, but it's just a bit of a boring job. And here you can see like this Doritos image, giving an idea, and you can see here's the description. If I go into the back of the code, I can see that they've already given a description for that particular image. So make sure all your images and your videos have got alt tags there. And think about the words and phrases that people might type into search engines to help to get you found. This is the clue to help. You know, if you're thinking, well, what do I write? What do I write in this section here? You know, what is it I should be writing? So think about, you know, the words and phrases people type in to find business like yourself. So if you are the sandwich shop, so if somebody's on the go and they're looking for a sandwich shop, it would be something like sandwich shop might be near me, or it could be sandwich shops in Gisborough, sandwich shops or cake shops in Loftus, coffee shops in Eston. So part of your wording on the description is going to be, you know, Bill's tea shop in Eston. So therefore you already start to cover some of these keywords and then talk about maybe what's unique about your business. But again, you've only got 160 characters. Sounds a lot, but it isn't. And it's the language and conversation. So the language that I'm talking about now, kind of just conversational, easy to understand language. It doesn't need to be anything really difficult to understand. It really is about what you think people are typing into Google to help your business get found. So just do some research, find out what you type into Google to find other businesses. That's what people will be typing in probably to find businesses like yourselves. Keep a log of the most popular ones, and then just use them in your website content and then in your meta descriptions and meta title tags. Link building is really important. This is kind of really the last slide now. So link building is about linking to other websites. I think this is a good kind of segue into our next guest, Richard Baker from the Ambassadors, because if you register your business as an ambassador with Richard, his website is a government-based website, so therefore he'll put the link on his website and you'll automatically get a lot of kudos from Google, because it thinks, well, if that website, a high-quality website, is linking to maybe like the treat website, it will say, well, that website can be sort of trusted. It is important it is seen as a trusted point to say that actually that website could be more trusted because this government website is pointing to it. Otherwise, that just wouldn't happen. And you just start start building those up. You can give links to other websites. That definitely helps. But likewise, conversely, you're trying to get inbound traffic to your site. So just start building up. When we're doing this networking here, we're talking together online. We might be doing things together in real life. You have to do that digitally as well. So you kind of got this web, and that's how the internet works. Kind of build based on trust. So you'll get people say, "Can I write a blog for you? Can I do this for you? Do you want to share my content?" And this is why they're doing this. And I've put some other external sites here. So universities, government sites, trusted media. That's why PR is really good. So if you get mentioned in the Northern Echo or Teesside Gazette, as long as they're good stories. And then they mention your website. It doesn't even have to be your website link, just even to be mentioning you. That's also really good as well. But just think about original and unique content. Try not to copy what everybody else is doing. Do your own stuff, and Google will pay you dividends for that. Some questions. If you've got any questions, I'm going to have a quick look in the chat, but I haven't got too much time to dwell on those. But that's my email address. It's darren@ducodigital.com. It's what I do in my full-time business as well. So we don't always have all the answers to all of the questions. Sometimes we have to go away and do some research. But generally, most of the time, the questions people ask us are kind of the everyday types of questions. It can be quite taxing if you're not a digital person. So we'll try to explain things as best we can for you. But any questions, pop it in the chat or just drop me an email. Happily help out where we can for you. It's really important that everybody embraces digital like now and for the years to come, because things are not going to really sort of change that heavily away from the kind of the digital marketplace. Okay, so I'm just going to stop sharing that and then just have a quick look if there's any questions there. And there's a lot of I can't see any questions there at the moment, but so I know sometimes there's a bit of a delay there. But again, you've got my email address, so please just let me know any questions. Otherwise, good luck with everything. And if there's anything about digital marketing that you'd like us to talk about, then in terms of digital marketing, just let me know. Happily kind of like talk about. Thanks, Kath. Couldn't get through the techie stuff without Duco. Thanks, guys. No problem. That's absolutely fine. And Joanna Charm can fully vouch to the fact that Darren might have a huge amount of patience with technology shy people like me. So it's what we're good at. So thanks very much, guys. Okay, we're going to bring on our next guest, Richard Baker for Redcar Cleveland Ambassadors. And hopefully, like say, Richard, it was a good segue to try and get people to register with you as an ambassador.
Yes, I like the link there, Darren. Thank you very much. So good morning, everybody. My name is Richard Baker. I'm the Place Marketing Manager for Redcar Cleveland. I'm about to start the share screen roulette. So hopefully that will work this morning. Right, it's showing up on my screen, so hopefully things are okay.
You're good to go.
Excellent. Thank you very much. So I'll whiz through this as quickly as I can to try and save David a little bit of time at the end. So this is just going to be a quick refresher and reminder of what we're up to at the moment, really. So we are currently in the middle of the Welcoming People Back theme, which is all about supporting the culture and tourism team in promoting all of the great assets that we have in Redcar and Cleveland. I won't list those, but we're all very familiar with what all that's about, really. Secondly, to come on to some of the things that are happening in the sort of coming months, really, because obviously we're hopefully getting some of the shackles off in terms of the lockdown. We're able to get back out there, particularly outside. So I just want to run through some of the things that are in the diary in Redcar and Cleveland. So firstly, the Enjoy team have organised 4 events taking place at Cleveland Museum grounds. So there's David Walliams' Mr. Stink on Friday the 2nd of July. There's A Comedy of Errors on Thursday the 8th and Friday the 9th of July. There's The Great Gatsby on Sunday the 18th and the 2 Fridas on Sunday the 22nd of August. And then some other events that are taking place, just to refer to. Also taking place at Cleveland Museum grounds, but separate from the other selection of programme, is Shine Productions will be doing an adaptation of The Wind in the Willows on Sunday, the 15th of August, which I think is part of a regional tour. And I think Joanna's in the chat, may be available to answer any questions on that one. Then moving on to a sporting theme, so Redcar Racecourse are back in action. They had I think they had a big event on Bank Holiday Monday, and they were out again yesterday. Back in action with paying crowds, and there's full details of their races on their website and social media. There's Redcar Triathlon on Sunday, the 25th of July also. And then moving to a flavour of some music events taking place. So there's Gisborough Summer Sound on Friday the 30th and Saturday the 31st of July. There's Redcar Beach Jam on Saturday 31st of July, and Cream Classics on the beach on Sunday the 1st of August. So I think it's really encouraging that these events are in the diary, and we can start to sort of look forward to these things with optimism and things like that. So just another quick run through of the things that we're doing. We've got the Surf and Turf photography competition, which is information on the website and on social media. I believe the closing date is the 18th of June for that one. All sorts of stuff going on social. We're sharing and the partners such as Enjoy Tees Valley and North York Moors National Park and things like that. We're continuing to share the work that Beth Hodgson RCA is doing with her blog and her social media posts. Beth continues to do some fantastic things each week. We've got the Enjoy section on the Place website, which colleagues look after. We are working through some Place drone footage at the moment and hope to be able to collate a video of that very soon. As we come towards an ambassadors event, which we expect to be at Cleveland Wall Garden, which I'll come on to in a second, we will have press releases and we'll be going on Zetland FM to talk about that. The remainder of 2021, we move into supporting local businesses theme in July, and that will run to September, and local projects improving our place October to December. Events will mirror those themes. So the Welcoming People Back theme will be July, we expect, and the events for the rest of the year will mirror those themes I've talked about. We still hope to have an Ambassador Awards event. We're looking at whether that's more suitably to be in December or the early part of 2022 for that one. So coming a bit more closer to where we are now, Cleveland Wall Garden is expected to be opening very soon. I can't really give any more information on that at the moment. But initial plans, we've had a meeting on this, and I think initial plans on this would be to have, on that evening, would be to have a tour of the Wall Garden site, to have some networking, and to have speakers who will be talking about the attraction, also a speaker talking about the regional tourism and investment, and more closer to home, the Redcar and Cleveland visitor economy plans as well. So I'm really looking forward to that event, and we hope to be able to give details on that very soon as we're able to pin that into the diary. Now quickly moving on to the last slide really. So this is building on the back of what Darren was mentioning. We'd really like you to join us as an ambassador if you haven't already, and I've been noting the people who are in the chat, so actually I might be coming knocking on your doors very soon actually. But what we'd like you to do as an ambassador essentially is talking the place up. That's the biggie really. So telling us your good news, which we will then share, following us and sharing our posts on your social media, using the place branding and logo where you can, and coming along to the ambassador events, and I've given an example of one just a few slides ago. But you also get some benefits from being in. So Darren has mentioned that listing on our website, and building off that, we've just launched ambassador spotlights on the site. So that is where we do shine a light on individual people and organizations. That drills into a bit more of a focus on each ambassador. So that's a really nice new feature that we've added onto the site. We do give ambassadors priority when we promote businesses and good news. We'll include you in various offers and promotions. You'll get our monthly newsletter, and you can be featured in that if you let us know what's happening. And importantly, please remember that everything's free. So hopefully it's a bit of a no-brainer really to be involved and join the team. So there's the last slide with the website address, so please take a look at that, and the ambassador's email address. If you want to send us absolutely anything, we'll take a look at that and respond as soon as we can. Thank you very much. I think that's about it for me, Darren.
Fabulous. Thank you very much, Richard. And I definitely encourage everybody today, if you've just got one action, well, couple of action points today: SEO, obviously, but also definitely up there. Get yourself registered with Richard on the Ambassadors because it's free. You don't have to do anything particularly. Just send him that you have a little email to say that you're interested. He'll ask a couple of questions, and then that's it. And then just go on, continue doing all the good work that you're doing with your own business. But also, then you'll get to have these opportunities to be invited to events. All of the news that Richard was talking about in terms of spotlight opportunities for the website. Just get more insider knowledge of what's happening in the area, which is really beneficial if you're growing your business. So I definitely encourage you, or tell some of your friends or other business owners to sign up. Thanks so much, Richard. And
sorry, Darren, can I just answer Kath's question quickly? No, we use all of the 4 main profiles, so Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram too. On that, do they only use Twitter?
Fab, yeah. Sorry, I've got so many questions coming in today. That's brilliant. Thanks, Kath. Yeah, no, they use Facebook, all of them. Instagram, yeah, absolutely, and LinkedIn. So read on LinkedIn as well. So use all of those. So definitely keep tagging in. But yeah, go to the website redcarcleveland.co.uk. All the symbols are there in terms of social media, in terms of who to follow, and then definitely sign up with Richard via the website or on email. If you've missed it all, then just watch the replay and then follow the links there. But otherwise, go to redcarcleveland.co.uk. Thank you so much, Richard, and we'll see you. We'll see you next month, and hopefully, we might be get that kind of Cleveland Walled Garden event underway. Right, next up, we've finally, but not least, we've got David Hitchin from the Business Growth Team. Morning, David.
Morning, Darren. Good to see you.
Thank you so much for your patience.
Right. Yep, David Hitchin, Business Growth Officer for Redcar Cleveland Council. After 15, 16 months of working on the COVID grants, it's great to be moving back slowly into our normal day job of helping businesses to achieve the goals. Firstly, though, just a quick grant update. The Restart grant under the LRSG scheme still being delivered. We're around the 9% mark. There are still some proven to be a little bit difficult to comply with government guidelines, but we're getting there. The additional restrictions grant scheme, known to everybody as the ARG, that scheme was slightly different in that government gave money out to the councils with the instructions, use the money to best benefit the local economy. All councils are doing this in a different way, depending on what their mix is. One scheme that we're looking to deliver is to assist with startups, and it's going under the name of the Startup Acceleration Grant. Basically, it's for new start or pre-start or businesses that have been operating up to, I believe, it's a 6-week period. So if anybody is looking to start up a business or still at those very early stages, then please get in touch with the team. Darren's got the email address and the website with details on. I'd also just like to mention that the support isn't just around grant funding itself. There is an awful lot of coaching, various forms of advice, guidance that's out there. Teesside University in particular are very proactive with a wide range of support. They're running an e-commerce workshop. There's also another course assisting businesses to be more savvy when it comes to pitching for funding. There is a whole array of support out there. I've seen Joanna Bryan mentioning the support for staffing and upskilling. It really is a case of Sharbane's getting out. If you've got a problem you can't find a solution to, then get in touch with us and we'll do our best to find support that, as I say, will help you to achieve your goals. I think that's it for now, Darren. I know time's short.
That's brilliant. Thank you so much, David. And I'll put I'll put the links on the screen in terms of the email address and your Twitter handles there. And again, I know not everybody does Twitter, But you know, if you're running a business, definitely you should be signed up for Twitter. Even if you just use it for your own personal use and just research about what's going on in the area, because there's a lot of content there that if you don't use it, you're just missing out on a lot of knowledge there, and it's free. So definitely make sure you sign up for Twitter. And just even if you just read and you don't promote, then I'd encourage you to do that. Thank you so much, David. I really appreciate your time this morning. I'm just going to read a few more quick shout outs and then we'll finish up because there's a lot of activity in the chat and it's a shame to miss out on all of this. Emma Jenkins, I kind of missed over this earlier on because not all the chat things appeared. So Emma's she's the co-owner of Organically You, local independent ethical health store. Find them on Queen Street in Redcar. So thank you so much, Emma, for attending. Jude Libby, she's from Big Fat Hippie Gardening. Sustainable wildlife friendly garden design and maintenance there. So I'm not too sure why somebody didn't appear earlier on. And I think that she was just saying, so Jade was saying that she mainly focuses on house plants and selling plants you wouldn't normally find in a garden centre. So definitely kind of like search them out. Joanne O'Brien, we just kind of just mentioned there. I'll just kind of, I can show this hopefully. So if anyone would like to speak about the workforce development skills for growth, those are Joanne's details there. They are in the comments below, but I've just put them on the screen there. Hopefully that should be just enough time for you to note those down. So definitely contact them for that if you're interested in that. Lots of kind of networking going on there. Phil was saying your chocolates are fab. That's to Chris earlier on. And there's some more, I'm sure I've seen some more love for your chocolates, Chris, as well. Joanna Charm, tickets for the Kurt Leatham event on sale now at the link, which we put up on the screen earlier on. And they're running a discount for the Redcar performance as they're a Redcar-based company. So definitely take advantage of that. So lots of love for Joanna there already. So it's sold out nearly a good 10% of tickets already. So you haven't got your tickets, go and get one booked. I think that's about there. Okay, that's fine. So there's other chats that are going on. So we'll just leave you to it. Next month, just to let you know, we've got Phil Lorimer from local business Crystal Clear and Food Solutions. And we also have fitness tips and advice from our resident personal trainer, Michael Penketh of Athlos PT. Just a big thank you today to all of our guests, Chris Corcoran from Treat, Richard Baker from Redcar Cleveland Ambassadors, and David Hitchin from the business growth team at Redcar Cleveland Borough Council. If you would like to appear on a future event, we're booking from September now. So please drop us a line at Redcar Cleveland Business Network at gmail.com. Visit the website, redcarclevelandbusinessnetwork.com. You can sign up for the newsletter as well, but do get in contact with us if you're interested in speaking as a guest speaker. Thank you for staying with us for a slightly extended edition this morning, but wishing you a great day ahead and see you next month.